Adam Bell, a history professor, feels trapped in his boring life. One day, he discovers an actor who looks exactly like him. Adam becomes obsessed with finding out more about this mysterious look-alike and gets tangled in his strange life. Adam's mother, concerned for her son, leaves a message on his answering machine, worried about his lonely existence in his new empty apartment. Meanwhile, the actor, Anthony Clare, is seen attending an underground club. In the dim room, he watches a disturbing performance where a woman steps on a live tarantula play on a silver tray. In the bleak city of Toronto, Adam teaches his students about the patterns of dictatorship, focusing on how history often repeats itself. After class, he returns to his lonely apartment. His girlfriend Mary comes over for the night, but the next morning, Adam's life falls back into the same routine. One day, Adam's co-worker Josh starts a casual conversation about movies. Adam admits he isn't into watching films, but asks for a recommendation anyway. Josh recommends a local movie titled Where There's a Will, There's a Way, which Adam's curiosity. On his way back home, Adam stops at a video rental store and picks up the film his colleague suggested. Later, while Adam grades papers for his students, Mary, his girlfriend, drinks alone. Feeling tipsy, she invites Adam to join her in bed, but he turns her down since he is busy with work. Mary ends up sleeping alone. Much later, Adam finishes his work and watches the rented movie on his laptop. He pauses at a scene and notices that a bellhop in the movie looks exactly like him. The next day, Adam arrives late to his class, where he talks about the idea that historical events repeat themselves. Back at home, still unsettled by the resemblance, Adam checks the movie's credits to find the name of the actor who played the bellhop. Through online research, he discovers the actor's name is Daniel St. Clair and starts renting more of his movies. Adam skips watching the rental movies and focuses on Daniel's scenes, pausing on a part where the actor gets trampled. Disturbed, Adam starts searching through his stack of unpacked boxes and finds an old torn photo of himself with someone he doesn't recognize. He places it next to Dan's official photo and realizes the two share a striking resemblance. Over the next few days, Adam becomes obsessed, constantly looking at Daniel's profile on a website while ignoring calls from his mother. Adam eventually decides to visit the talent agency that represents Daniel. To hide his identity, he buys a pair of sunglasses. When he arrives at the agency's building, he waits outside, hoping to find a way in. He tries to hold the door open as someone exits, but misses the chance. Soon after, he manages to slip inside by following a woman. Inside, a guard mistakes him for Daniel, whose real name is Anthony. Adam plays along and learns that Anthony hasn't been to the agency in 6 months. He collects a package addressed to the actor and leaves. Later in his car, Adam discovers Anthony lives in Mississauga and starts stalking him. He eventually calls Anthony's apartment from a payphone. Adam calls Anthony's wife, pretending to be someone else. The woman laughs, thinking Adam is just joking, and assumes it's her husband playing a prank. She immediately recognizes Adam's voice, confusing him with Anthony's. Surprised, Adam tries to explain he is an Anthony, but she gets scared when she realizes he's serious and asks who he really is. Disturbed by the conversation, Adam quickly hangs up, feeling anxious and overwhelmed by this strange situation. Adam returns home, but can't shake his thoughts. He decides to call Anthony again. This time, Anthony himself picks up the phone, and his voice is almost identical to Adam's. When Adam tries to explain that he was the one who talked to Anthony's wife, Anthony grows angry and threatens to call the police. Adam insists that they are alike, but Anthony ends the call. Determined to get answers, Adam calls back, explaining how shocked he is to find someone who looks and sounds just like him. He suggests they meet in person. Meanwhile, Anthony's pregnant wife Helen overhears the conversation. Anthony brushes it off, calling Adam a stalker, while Helen teases him, believing the call might be from the husband of a woman Anthony had once been unfaithful with. Anthony insists it was just a crazy stalker and quickly leaves to avoid his wife Helen's questioning. Suspicious, Helen checks a phone and sees a call from an unknown number. Later, Anthony looks up the professor online and finds Adam listed as part of the history department's faculty. That night, While Anthony is sleeping beside her, Helen finds a piece of paper with Adam's name on it. Curious, the next day, she searches his
Anthony
name
calls
and
Adam
sees what her
and
husband
arranges
had
to meet him
discovered
at
in an outside town on Sunday. Meanwhile, Helen visits Adam's college by herself to see the man her husband has been talking to. She spots Adam sitting on a bench outside his building and is shy to see how much he looks like Anthony. Confused, she approaches him, but Adam has no idea who she is and doesn't recognize her as Anthony's wife. Unaware of this, Helen believes Adam is actually Anthony, worried about his strange behavior, excited for his meeting with Anthony. Adam starts a conversation with Helen. He learns she's 6 months pregnant and quickly excuses himself to return to class. Upset, Helen calls Anthony just as Adam walks away and disappears into the building. Anthony speaks, but the woman is too shocked by what she has discovered to respond. Later, in Anthony's apartment, he comes home after a run, casually talking about his day and asking his wife for some blueberries. Helen, however, is deeply disturbed by the fact that her husband has an exact double. She stays silent throughout the day. That night, Helen finally tells Anthony that she went to see Adam at the university where he works. Terrified, she questions her husband about Adam, convinced that he knows the truth. Meanwhile, Anthony and Adam both see a woman with a spider's head walking down a hallway in a strange underground club. The disturbing dream startles them awake. On Sunday afternoon, Adam, the professor, arrives at an end holding a letter sent to Anthony's agency. He goes into an empty room waiting to meet the actor. Anthony soon arrives, staring at Adam in disbelief at their identical appearance. Anthony asks to see Adam's trembling hands, thinking they might be brothers, especially when they discover matching scars on their chests, further unsettling Adam. Surprised by the strange discovery, the professor steps away, leaving Anthony's letter on the bed. He quickly drives off. On the row, the actor glances at his look-alike from his motorbike and speeds home. Meanwhile, Anthony spies on Adam outside his apartment, watching as the professor exits and kisses his girlfriend goodbye. After Adam heads to the university, Anthony follows Mary, who is Adam's girlfriend, to the bus. As he watches her, Anthony feels an attraction, especially toward her heels. He then trails her to work before heading back to his own home. A few days later, Adam tells his mother about meeting a man who looks exactly like him. His mother brushes off his concerns, reminded him that he is her only child, unlike what Anthony suggested. She offers him blueberries, but Adam says he doesn't like them, despite his mother knowing otherwise. She advises him to stop worrying and to abandon any thoughts of becoming an actor. Ironically, Anthony's profession. As the situation between Adam and Anthony gets more chaotic, a spider appears as a symbol of the confusion. In his bathroom, Adam touches the scar he shares with his double, overwhelmed by everything. Anthony, noticing how similar he looks to Adam, confronts him through the mirror. The actor plans to accuse Adam of having an affair with his wife, Helen, and then switch places with him so that he can sleep with Adam's girlfriend, Mary. The next day, Anthony goes to Adam's empty apartment, but Adam tells him to leave. However, Anthony brings up the affair with Helen and demands Adam's car. He shares his plan to take Mary on a romantic trip while pretending to be Adam, planning to settle the score and disappear from his life for good. The two men agree to switch places. Anthony drives Mary away, while Adam takes a cab to Anthony's apartment. When he arrives, the building's concierge greets him, and Adam pretends he forgot his keys. In the elevator, the concierge mentions a trip to an underground club with Anthony and reveals that the key to the secret room has been changed, urging Adam to join him again. Adam plays along and enters Anthony's apartment, which the concierge opens for him. Once inside, Adam explores the luxurious apartment, finding a high-heeled shoe in Anthony's closet. He changes into Anthony's clothes and helps himself to some blueberries from the fridge. After a while, he spots a framed photo on the shelf that resembles the one he had in his apartment. In the picture, Helen, the woman he met outside the university, is seen holding on to Anthony, who looks exactly like Adam. Later that evening, Helen returns home and is surprised to see her husband there, instead of with his mother. Unsure how to act, Adam decides to pretend to be Anthony and gently asks the pregnant Helen if she needs anything. Smiling, she notices a difference in his behavior and invites him to bed. Adam undresses and lies down beside her. Helen, sensing something odd, gazes at him and then places his hand on her belly. When she embraces him, she asks about his day at school, indicating she knows he's acting differently. Meanwhile, Anthony is with Mary, but she pulls away after noticing a mark from a wedding ring on his finger, hinting he's married. Anthony insists something has always been present, but Mary disagrees. On their drive home, they argue and in frustration, Anthony demands that Mary leave the car. Suddenly, he loses control, swerving off the road and crashing. However, when the car is found overturned, neither of them is inside. This crash symbolizes Adam's internal struggle to end his thoughts of infidelity. Back at the apartment, Helen consoles Adam, who breaks down in tears as he fights to rid himself of these unfaithful temptations. Helen reassures him, encouraging him to remain loyal and not let his mind slip back into disloyal fantasies. The next day, Adam puts on Anthony's clothes and discovers a secret letter hidden in the sleeve. Inside, he finds a key that unlocks a room in a mysterious underground club. His thoughts are interrupted by Helen, and he informs her he plans to go out that night to the club. She doesn't respond, so Adam follows her into another room where he sees a giant tarantula retreating from him. The spider represents his struggle with temptation, as he is once again caught in a web of indecision, unable to escape the cycle of desire and guilt. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the recap, like and subscribe to Sign Focus for more. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next video. Have a movie suggestion? Let us know in the comments.